Grand Rising.
What up, y'all? What's going on with that?
Grand Rising, Grand Rising, Grand Rising. I'm so happy to be back. My screen is freezing. Is that me? Or is it StreamYard trying not to give me no love this morning? How are you doing, Jay?
I'm doing great. I am doing great. I cannot complain. How about yourself?
Great. I'm doing wonderful. I was on a work trip with the trip that I'm funding my future, and it went phenomenal. If I must say so myself, I was hurting the whole time, but I pushed through it. Jay, I'm so proud of me. Like I pushed through the entire thing and got a standing ovation. Couldn't even believe it. I was just talking to the people, just trying to connect with them because it's a bunch of people that I work with and people in different departments. It was probably maybe a little under 200 people there, and we all go through things. You know how you like somebody in the same industry, you know what they're going through,
Mm.
the different hats that they wear. And for me, it was just trying to connect with that, just trying to
Right.
connect with that, and it worked. Like I had my boss crying. It was amazing. I feel good. I needed that. I needed that reminder. It was some definitely not no dry eyes in there. Lots of hugs, lots of thank yous, and just another part of me finding my purpose.
What were
Another
some of
part.
the things that you talked about?
It was resilience. Talked about resilience and being able to wear the different hats and still push through things. And um I just told my story about even like up to now, like this part of my life, how I don't always get it, and sometimes I can be my hardest, my worst critic, my worst enemy. And when I'm struggling, a lot of times it's very difficult for me to reach out. It's difficult for me to reach out. I think that's one of the reasons why we work so well, because are you gauge the connection with people, and you can see where they're struggling and not willing to talk about it. Like the conversation we had about the radio and everything. Like I would have never came to you and been like, Jay, I'm struggling here. But you instantly saw that, and like things like that is difficult for me because I am my own worst enemy. It's just I'm definitely an alpha female. I know that about myself. Very strong personality, but at the same time, I'm like this squishy, softy thing. So I don't know. I needed that, Jay. I so needed that just to remind me, because it can be frustrating just dealing with people. And Grand Rising, everybody, Grand Rising. Let me make sure that this is not. Let me edit the privacy on
Yeah,
here.
I
So
was doing that myself.
public.
Mine.
Yeah, so I'm feeling pretty good. Those 2 days were wonderful. Being away from everything. Um, I felt a little guilty being away from my mom, but my mom like, I can do this. So, it was good. How about you? How is your week? It's been busy. 716 Live is like popping out
Uh,
here. I see
we
the
all.
Halloween thing was released finally. That's what's up.
Yep, definitely. That's October 28th. Uh, Courtesy of MTM. That's Mark Lee, Lit City, Bag Boys, and of course 716 Live. Saturday, October 28th is going to be at the Showplace Theater on Grant Street. You can get your tickets from any of the names I just mentioned, plus the sponsors, which you could check out on the flyer, which is on all of our pages on social media and 716live.com. And you can come up to the Tri Main Center and get you some tickets. We'll be giving out free tickets during the radio show as well. So make sure y'all stay tapped in.
Ooh, a lot of stuff coming down the pipeline for 716 Live. Y'all don't sleep on us. Don't sleep on us. Don't sleep on us. For some reason, every time I hear that, Layla's don't sleep on me, and Layla and Lola come to my mind when they be, don't sleep on us, don't sleep on us, don't sleep on us. I'm way in the Indianapolis airport yesterday, repping 716 Live. It felt so good because I'm in there, and there were these acts. I guess there's a concert going around for the farms are actually having going. They have these acts, and some of the acts stopped by the airport, and I met these two young people, Tyler and Lori, yesterday. Beautiful, beautiful voice. Tyler has this very soulful country voice, but they're part of this I guess this team called the Black Opry. And what that is, everyone, is a bunch of Black creatives that would not normally, you know how when you think of Black people or African Americans, a lot of time you instantly think hip hop or rap, R&B, but we are so much broader than that. It's just that I feel like we kind of been boxed into this box. We've been placed in this box. That's why I love artists who do not put themselves in boxes, because you want to give yourself room for creativity. Right. And that's what they're doing. That's what the Black Opry is. It's a bunch of Black country singers, folk singers, like bluegrass, all the genres that you would not necessarily equate Black people with. That's what the Black Opry is. So it was nice talking with them. I actually have a couple of interviews that I have to post. Grand Rising, everybody. I have a couple of interviews that I did with them that I have to post to the 716 Live page. I went live on the 716 Live radio page yesterday, just so everyone can get a little bit of Lori's voice. Very, very soulful. I love when people don't sound like everybody else. So that was the highlight of my Indianapolis trip. Did not get home until late yesterday, because once I got to Philadelphia, I had a layover. Once I got to Philadelphia, the plane just took about an hour before it even took off. So I didn't get into the house until after midnight. Yeah, okay. It is what it is.
Sounds pretty eventful, but
it was. I needed that, Jay. I needed that. Yeah, but I did want to talk about a few things while we are here on the radio. So there was a situation, her story, and big shout out to Rochelle and a huge shout out to Deshauna Abrams. Queen, I think you are so courageous, and I see everything that is going down on Facebook right now. I see how people are coming for you, but I'm glad that you're standing on your truth and you're owning your truth and not letting anyone scare you away from that truth. I also love how it's also opening the doors back up to building a relationship back with other family members. Yeah. It sounded like everyone is lame. Who said that? Who said that? Yes, sounding like everyone is lame. Yes, own the truth. You have to own your truth. And even when people don't agree with it, you have to own your truth. And I also want to say something as a mom, as a parent. Listen, parents, we don't always get it right. And when our kids tell us that we did not get it right, even though we don't want to hear it because we want to be perfect, we have to acknowledge that. Because just like we are holding on to a lot of mess that happened, Grand Rising KB, Grand Rising New York Bronx, Grand Rising everybody, just like the hardest thing for me to hear from any of my kids, and I do this a lot with them, especially because I know I went through some things and because they're kids. So anything that you're experiencing while they are children, those children are going to experience as well. Even though we may not like it, it is what it is. And it is not, it is detrimental for our children to try and negate their experience. You know what I mean? Like if Mouse came to you and said, Dad, such and such happened, and this was my experience. I witnessed this, and this was my experience. Are you going to tell her that wasn't her experience? Like that makes no sense. How are you going to tell somebody that's not their experience? Let's talk through this and find out why you perceived it that way, or what was it that happened that made you perceive it that way. It's very hard parenting, y'all. It's hard. I have 6 kids, 2 sets of twins. That mess was hard. I'm still trying to fix the wrongs that I did from way back when. My oldest just turned 30 in June. So you can imagine the type of trauma she went through because I was a kid trying to raise a kid. And by the
Right.
time I was 19, I had three more. I had three kids, and I'm 19 years old. So imagine my mentality at that time. No, I did not have all the answers. Yes, I did make a lot of mistakes. Yes, I am still trying to rectify that stuff. Absolutely. But I'm not going to tell my child that they're wrong for talking about their experience. I would rather them heal from the stuff that we went through than me to try and drag them about it. So I don't know. I don't know. I just see everything that's going down, and I don't like it. I don't
Right.
like it.
Right.
As
Yeah.
a father, what's your thoughts on it, Jay?
Yeah. I think it's hard because I talk about this a lot. Like, you just have to be understanding, compassionate, and be able to look at things as objectively as possible because everyone experiences life in their own way, and so you know it's really nobody nobody's place to sit anywhere and tell someone else what their experience is. And I know that can be hard sometimes. I mean, even though I'm aware of that, I don't want to use the word struggle, but I go through that as well. As far as sometimes when people say certain things, I'll be like, you know, I'll be as understanding as I possibly can, but sometimes it just be like, sometimes it be so left field that it's like, nah, we gotta, we gotta figure out how we can work in the same reality here. Otherwise, I can't have dialogue with you. But at the same time, like I said, I try to be as understanding as possible with everybody, including my daughter.
Yeah. And I feel like we start off wanting to protect our kids from everything. We start off wanting to give them a better life.
Right.
We start off with these hopes and dreams that we're going to be better than our parents, and then we realize that we made a lot of the same mistakes that our parents made because they had issues, their parents had issues. And what continued to happen until somebody stood up and said, you know what, this is a chain that I have to break. Until somebody stands up and say, you know what, this was not a good experience. I need to change. I need to break this change. Like
Right.
sexual abuse in my family, that is something that I want to obliterate that chain. I want to annihilate that chain because it's been passed down. I can count at least four generations in my family. You know what I mean? So that's something that I'm aware of, and that I know that like that's something I know that's something that needs to be broken off of my family because the sucker it just keep getting passed down. And a lot of times that's what happens when people are abused. A lot of times they end up in abusive relationships, or if they experience abuse growing up in the household, they either become the abuser or get into an abusive relationship.
Yeah, I think that's kind of hard because it's like I think as human beings we try to rationalize and come up with reasons so that things make sense to us, and that we can deal with things. The reason I say that is because I know, like, personally, I hear a lot of stories like what you just mentioned, and I think, you know, there's another part of that, or another type of experience with that. You kind of just touched on it a little bit as far as you said breaking the chain. I know, like myself, growing up, in the manner of which I grew up in, I was the complete opposite. Like, I saw things that I didn't like, and I guess I was that break in the chain as far as talking about parenting. Uh, because I saw things that I didn't like, and but you know what? I can't say because, I would say more so it's like I saw things I didn't like and took note of it. I already just wasn't that type of person to be acting like how other people was acting. Um, so like when I'm raising my daughter, I just keep that in my mind. Like, I feel good about myself because I'm like, yeah, I'm doing a lot better, than what I was raised up in. So, you know,
Hmm.
uh, you know, uh, I guess as you phrased it, breaking the chain or whatever.
Yeah. I think even also admitting like we aren't going to get everything right. We just aren't. Our kids get older. Even like I thought I was a good mom. I knew I had checked out during that time where I had the nervous breakdown. Grand Rising, Glow De Niro, Grand Rising, um, Glow De Niro, back up, back up. Grand Rising, Denise, I see you out there, sis. I thought I was a good mom. Oh, I call this shit revolution. My girl, my queen picked me all up out of myself the other day. I love when queens support queens in the background and don't tell the world about it. Fix my crown, queen. Fix my crown. I love it. I love it. I love it. But yeah, I thought I was perfect for a very long time because, like you, I saw what I did not want for my kids. I saw the way other people were raising their kids around me. I saw how my friends' parents raised them, and I was like, okay, I don't want that to happen for my family, so I'm going to do something different. And it worked out. A lot of it worked out, thankfully, because I have 6 kids, and they're on the journey to finding themselves. Everybody, none of my kids are perfect. They make mistakes just like everybody else, but I did not allow the statistics to become my children reality. That was on me. I felt like they did not ask to be here, so it was my responsibility to make sure that all of those statistics that they were up against, teenage pregnancy, I have 3 sons, 3 African American sons. Statistics say that one of my sons should be in jail, especially because their father did some time in jail. So the statistics were way up there. I was a teenage mom twice. The statistics were way up there. So I knew that there were some things that I did not want for my family. But then I also have to realize that you went through 7 years, 7 whole years where you were in and out of the presence of being yourself. In and out. You were dealing with all of these. Man, I was a broken woman, and my kids saw that, especially my oldest. Like, my oldest is my best friend, my backbone, my because we grew up together. So I know she's especially traumatized by the stuff that went on because she's by her being older. But I have to acknowledge that we went to counseling, we went to family counseling. I'm owning my it, y'all. I'm owning my it. It's hard, but it's necessary. And when we own our stuff, it also opens up a space for us to heal as the parents. You think it was all right? I was crying. I'm sitting there in family counseling with my daughter, and she's telling me the things that I could have done better in front of a stranger. That didn't make me feel good, but I knew, all I kept thinking, okay, this is what my child needs. This is what my child needs. So I'm going to go through this with her. I don't care how it makes me feel. I can deal with that. I want my child to heal. And as a mother, as a parent, that should be our focus. Like, I don't know, Jay. I don't know. Like, I take my parenting seriously.
Yeah, I mean, all we can do is the best we can do. You know what I'm saying? Nobody knows everything, and there's no such thing as perfection. So, as far as I'm concerned, yeah, as long as you're doing the best you can do, that's really all you can do. There's nothing else to it.
Yeah, I call this shit revolution. If you want to jump in on the conversation, because I one of the things that I admire about you, not only your spirit, but I admire that you have your daughter Infinity with you. Like, she's in the business. Every time I see her, I'm like, this baby gonna grow up a boss, because she's around it. She's around the boss women. She's around the boss bunnies. She's up in 716 Live. Like, she like Mouse. She about to shoot. Infinity gonna be up there editing videos in a minute. So if you are still out there, Queen, and you want to join this conversation, I would love for you to tap in. You do not have to be on video. And that is Glow De Niro. That's true. That's all you can do. Literally, that's all you can do. Like, we have to also allow ourselves some grace, especially as teenage moms. I'm talking to us right now, because we are instantly thrown into being a parent. When we haven't even grown ourselves. Like, our brains literally have not even developed. Our brains don't begin to develop our brains don't fully develop until we are over 25. So I had 9 whole years. Wait a minute, 25, 5. Yeah, 9 whole years to try and get it together from me having my last child. It was, man, listen, y'all. All I'm saying is, when our kids say that we ain't perfect, we have to acknowledge that. Just like we can look at our parents and say that they weren't perfect. Just and to those of you who are raising younger children, let me just say this, and then we can move on. Kids don't just act out for no reason. I dropped the ball with my oldest daughter because she was a rebellious teen and she was acting out. I did not realize the reason she was acting out is because my child was being molested. You know, she was acting out because she did not feel safe. She was acting out because she was going through some things and she didn't know how to express it. She did not feel safe. That is a guilt that I am working on in counseling. You know what I mean? So just know that, and this is parent to parent, kids don't just act out without there being something going on. So if your child is acting out, dig deep, get them into counseling, because there's 9.99999 times out of 10, the child is acting out based on the emotions that they cannot express or some trauma that they are going through. It can be in school, it can be at home. Just know that child is probably going through some things, and that is why they are acting out. Kids don't just act out for no reason, y'all. I know we like to say, oh, they're bad, they're this, that, they're that. Check on your child. Make sure that you have a space open up for them to be vulnerable, a safe space for them to talk about their feelings, to talk about what is going on in their lives. Because I can remember being a kid holding a lot back from my mom. Were you open with your mom or your parents at all, Jay? Did you have a person growing up that you can talk to and like lay down your worries?
I don't know. Can you? I think my grandmother. What am I talking about? My grandmother definitely talked to her.
Yeah, your grandma was your person, right? But even that, I'm sure there were things that you held back from her.
There probably was. I'm not gonna tell anyone everything. I'm sure there was.
The mysteries of Jay.
Like just to touch what you were saying, like one more thing I would like to add to this for any parent is just, I think the two most important things for any parent is, once you have a kid, you just touched on it a little bit. It's your responsibility. You know what I'm saying? It's never the kid's fault. It just isn't. It doesn't matter if it is. It still isn't. You brought the kid into the world. It's your responsibility now. Like, you got to uphold your end of the deal. And once you do that, it's about being involved and caring. Those are the two most important things. Like, you can't, the way society is set up, we have kids and we let them go off to school for 8 hours a day or whatever amount of time it is, and then they go to like after school programs and stuff like that. So the reality is, society's raising your kids, not you. You know what I'm saying? In those situations. So when you do have your kids, you have to make the most of that time. You have to be super involved. You have to ask questions. You have to be super intrusive, like all the way. You got to get in their brains. You got to understand why they think, how they think, and everything, because you only have a limited amount of time with them. And, school and everything and everyone else is really raising your kids. So just care and be involved. I would say those are the two most important things.
That's a great question. I'm putting that up here. Is society raising your kids? That was my worst fear, Jay. Especially I grew up in the projects. I grew up. I grew up where I got a lot of misinformation. Grand Rising, Abby, Grand Rising, Lola Rue. I see y'all out there. Grand Rising. I think I saw somebody else pop in. Put your name in the chat. Who else was that?
Oh, who else is it? Where Lola at, man? Where these names?
She's on my on mine. Yeah, I don't know. This is so weird. Like, I literally have 3 different chats going on, trying to figure everything out. I think Lola may be on mine. Is your live on as well, Jay?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, yeah. So I need the tablet to see yours. Anywho, everybody, let's talk about that. Is society raising your kids?
Right.
Man, that's a deep question. A lot of people, especially now with school going on. Thank you so much, New York Bronx. And everybody hit up New York Bronx. He has some of the best pastelillos. He's going to be selling them wholesale. I got to hit you up because my mom, they are
Where's
good.
the White Bronx located? Man?
Yeah, he's like that burger dude, street vendor.
Lackawanna?
Yep, he has some Lackawanna. I think New York Bronx. Put it in the chat where you're going to be this weekend, because he's selling them by the case. My mom's been wanting some pastelillos. We used to get them from this lady named Yaya. She passed away years ago, and her son makes them really well. But when I had New York Bronxes, I was like, oh yeah, he up there with Yaya. This is a really good pastelillo. The meat was filling. It wasn't like mostly shell and a little bit of meat. It was a great pastelillo. The rice was delicious. Niagara Falls, he said, but he does deliver. That's what's up. Yeah, big shout out to New York Bronx. He's a fellow Lackawannian just like me. Make sure y'all hit New York Bronx up, y'all. I'm gonna be getting my mom some of them pastelillos. What's the prices on the cases, New York Bronx? I think I seen you have, is it like 6, 12, 18? How are you selling them this weekend?
Right. Yeah, I'm gonna have to try some of that out. Free delivery. Oh man, talking my language.
Okay. Oh, you are welcome. Listen, it's all love, especially when I see my Lackawanna people. 716 Live, y'all, is the voice for the people. That's why we want y'all, as much as we support y'all, we want y'all to support us as well, because this truly is a platform for the people. You know, you can't go on WBLK. Grand Rising, Bam Fam, Grand Rising. You can't go on WBLK and do this type of stuff, even have this type of interaction, right?
Right.
Man.
So you were saying society raising your kids. Mm-hmm. So how do you feel about how society has influenced your young ones?
Oof. That was what I knew, that society could influence my kids. Abby said, it seems like society has become the new village. Unfortunately, for most of us single parents, we depend on those after school programs, extra curriculum, etc., so we can make money or other things for the benefit of the family. Where's the village that we had back then? Yes, Abby, that part. Thank God that I had a village. I still have a village around my kids, because I wouldn't have been able to raise 6 kids the way they were raised. I wouldn't have been able to, something would have fell through the cracks. You know what I mean? Like, my kids are good citizens. They aren't perfect. No, they are not, but they're good citizens. And for me to have 6 kids, I knew early on, Jay, because I recognized the influence that was over me growing up, especially like part of my kids' life, they lived in the projects. So I knew what was outside. So I would have the discussion with my kids that I knew they may have questions for their friends. We talked about sex. We talked about drugs. It was open. I knew very early on that my oldest son was going to be gay. So I opened that conversation up. I knew when he was 1-2 years old that he was going to be gay. I saw it. So I made sure that was a topic of discussion at the dinner table, that mommy's going to love you regardless of who you love. So I opened up that discussion. I did not want society to raise my kids. I wanted it first to be heard at home, because I got a lot of misinformation from outside of home, because I was embarrassed to talk to my mom about it. I didn't even have the communication skills to talk to her about it. So I did not want that for my kids. So even though my kids play video games, my kids listen. I listened to the rap music. I was still me, but I also made sure that my kids had an understanding of what society had in store for them. And you come to me and ask me the questions first. Don't ask your friends, because they probably don't know. I can remember one of my friends telling me they weren't a virgin anymore because they were dry grinding. You know, so things like that, Jay. So I always kept that in the back of my mind. That and still to this day, my oldest is 30, my babies are 20. I still feel like it is my responsibility to make sure that they are productive citizens. No, I don't have my hands in everything, but they darn sure can call me at 3 o'clock in the morning and say, "Mommy, I'm going through it." and I'm going to give them the best advice that I can give them with the mindset that I have in this moment. You know, as my kids are growing older, we are forming a better relationship. Because like I talk about, because I'm very open, I had checked out for a very long time, y'all. I had a nervous breakdown, and my oldest daughter and my oldest son had to pick up a lot of the slack. Like my son, even now, he still is like the father, and he's the father, you know, even though, you know, that's a whole nother situation. Oh, I got a doctor's appointment that they didn't even know. Yeah, so I don't know, Jay. Like, well, I know you are protective of Mouse, and for a lot of reasons. She's a beautiful young lady. She's a girl. She's her dad is in this industry, running a business around an industry that is not nice. You know, a lot of people aren't nice, but you are very protective of that. So what are some of the things that you use as far as Mouse? I came up one day and you were teaching her how to box, and I'm like, dang, I wish I had it that. Like, you and DJ Bandana are like the super dads for me. I wish I had that growing up. And I look at y'all princesses, and I'm like, dang, you know, even if they're going to make their mistakes, but they still have their dad. Like, man, that's going to make a wealth of difference.
I think that, you know, for me, it's like a matter of it's a matter of equipping her with the tools that I feel is needed to handle life. So like looking back in my life, I'm like, okay, well, you know, what would have I needed to get where I was going or where I wanted to go or protect myself or whatever when I was, you know, her age or younger or whatever. And then I just apply that to her. So like you said, like, you know, like fighting or you know, just being able to protect yourself. Also knowledge, you know, I treat she's 10 now, but I never talked to her like a baby, you know what I'm saying? Like I always talk to her
Mhm.
like an adult, like how we talk, like how me and you talk. That's how I was talking to her when she was 1, you know. I you know, and kids, there's, you know, I know you heard the saying before, like they're like sponges, you know what I'm saying? Like they soak up everything, like
Everything.
everything. So I just, for me personally, I just do the best I can to be an example and just show her, like, you know, this is efficient. These are the reactions you get from these actions, and because I try my best to stay away from right and wrong, because again, like we talked about earlier,
Mm.
uh life, you're going to experience life the way you experience it. I can't tell you what's right or wrong. I can only tell you what I've experienced, and then you take that and do what you do in your life with that.
That's some good
So
advice, Jay.
yeah, like you know, and so and then finding the balance between that and being protective, because you definitely don't want nothing to happen to your child, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, you gotta let them live life. So like again, like I said, I think it's just a matter of equipping them with the tools that they need, that, you know, hey, if this situation pops up, at least you have the knowledge to make a decision that's going to be beneficial for yourself. Now if you actually make that decision, that's on you.
Yeah, yeah. I like that. Not like you opened up a space for her to make her own decision. Like, you're not saying what's right, what's wrong. That's really good advice. Opening up that space for her. Grand Rising, Jeffrey. Grand Rising, everybody. Thank you, everybody, for continuing to tap in with the 716 Live Morning Show. I love, love, love seeing the names come back every day, and the new names as well. Abby said, I have 4. I didn't know you had 4, Queen. I have 4, and I swear I would die to have a village. It's time. It's time we take my kids with me to events and things I have going on. I mean, I don't complain, because no matter what society throws out there, they see me being an example. Absolutely. I'm always very open about sex, violence, and other topics that some parents are scared to speak of. That, Abby, that your kids, man, your kids see you being a boss, and you're young. You know, like, I didn't even, until you told me, I did not realize that you are the same age as my oldest daughter, because you have this maturity about you, which is great. So listen, if you need a village, I'm a good auntie. I love the kids. I'm here for the kids because it's the kids that's our future. So if you need somebody as a part of your village, as far as these kids, I will be that because I see the difference it makes when you have a village around you. Like right now, I'm helping with my god kids, and that makes me feel so good. It made me feel good to have my goddaughter call me and say, this is what's going on. Like that makes me feel good because I understand that my baby mama, my bestie as I call her, she has some health issues. So it takes a village to make sure that these kids get off to a good start. If you see, I was never one of those ones like, don't say nothing to my kids. I was not that person. If you see my child doing something wrong, pull them to the side. Like, don't be malicious about it. And I didn't, and I always felt people energy. Like, don't be trying to get my kid in trouble because, some people are you have to be careful who you allow to, love on or reprimand your kids because there's some adults out here that's just not right. Okay,
Right.
just not right. But yeah, you do. Glo De Niro said, Abby, you're a strong queen. You got this. You do. Like I admire your strength, Abby. And 4 kids at 30 years old. Oh, we queen. I know how that feels. I know exactly how that feels. She said, my oldest is currently learning how to build a website. Ooh, I know that's right. Because hell, I'm going to teach them how to get some money while they in my face. I know that's right.
Right.
What Mouse up here editing videos and stuff. Like I admire that. Like I go up there and Mouse is in the know. The event, she in there taking videos for the event. Like that just makes my heart just like burst full of happiness because y'all putting y'all kids on a whole different level, because everything is not learned in school. So you are opening up these doors for these kids. Big shout out to you, Abby.
Definitely. While we're talking about this, I'm gonna just go ahead and say this as well. Like, as parents, what I see a lot of the times is parents will come up with this box that they like to throw their kids in, and that box is YouTube, video
Mm.
games, candy,
You stepping on some toes. Talk
uh,
about it, Jay.
and what people need to understand is like kids, they're looking for that stuff. Like when you see Mouse and she's got the camera and stuff like that, I'm not forcing her. I'm not like, yo man, you got to hold this camera, you need to do this. She's like, oh, I see daddy doing this, I want to do it too, I'm interested, I want to know about it. Whereas a lot of times what parents will do is they'll kind of like, nah, you too young, or you're not ready for this or whatever. And that I don't believe that's the way. I don't believe that's efficient or proficient to be doing when you're trying to raise a kid. You want them to learn as much as possible. Like, it's definitely, it could be a risk, putting the $3,500 camera in a 6-year-old hands. But I was willing to do that because yeah, I'm more concerned with her learning than her dropping the camera. Although that was a concern, but I put a couple straps on.
But you let her do her.
Yeah, and so I didn't force her. When you see her doing things like she's playing the piano or whatever, she's making beats or fighting, even with that, like it's just all her like watching me and being interested. And I don't force her to do anything. She plays soccer, she plays all types of sports. I don't sit here and say you got to do this or you got to do that. You know what I'm saying? All I say is make sure whatever it is you're doing that you do it. Don't have to do
Mm,
nothing. Like if you're gonna do it, then do it. That's pretty much it. But I don't try to control where she goes. You know what I'm saying? And I feel
yeah.
like what I was saying in the beginning of this is that's what parents, I believe it would help a lot in your child's life if you acted in that manner. Let them explore, let them figure out what they're good at and what their purpose is young, so they can get into it and get going.
Mhm.
Don't just nah, you can't do that, or throw them on YouTube, or the man here, just watch TV for 10 hours, you know what I'm saying, or play video games for 3 days straight, don't take a shower, don't
Mhm.
but
Mhm. I I too I remember reading something a long time ago about um, just pouring into your kids. If you see them interested in something, allow them to be interested in it. So
Definitely.
my one daughter, she liked to write, so I made sure she had a lot of journals and stuff like that. I have kids that draw very, very well, so I remember they wanted this device called a Wacom where they can draw. It's like some type of, instead of drawing on paper, you can draw on this Wacom thing. So, I did things like that, sketchbooks. Like I went to Michael's for Christmas, and because I wanted to make sure that whatever it was that they were interested in, that I allowed them to have those things, because I wanted them to find their talent, to find out what they were good at.
In their
And
space to flourish.
yeah, exactly, Jay. Exactly. And in Florida State did. I have three children that draw very, very well, even though they didn't go into that. They are just creatives. They went into something else. But I still gave them that. I poured that into them. I was going buying sketchbooks. I'm getting Michael's coupons so I can, because I got to buy three sketchbooks, and those things aren't cheap. And that Wacom, you know what I mean? Like things like that. Mouse with the camera. I can remember just watching her, and like she's so into it, Jay. Like she was into it, walking around, and you didn't even have to hold her hand and walk her around. She's walking around, filling out the crowd, doing what she does. Like she was a pro at that thing. And I think
As a
she was
parent,
9 at the time.
right? As a parent, that just it's one of those things. It gives you goosebumps. It's like it feels like an accomplishment. It feels great to see things like that because that's what you want for your child, or you should. I think.
Yeah, Abby. Yeah, these parents teaching their kids how to twerk and BS so far. Yeah, I don't remember where I was at, but this little baby, she couldn't have been. She was still in a pamper. That's how small she was, on the ground twerking, and they just applauding her and clapping and stuff. And I'm
Right,
like,
right.
man, like
That's the vibe.
she's emulating what she sees going on.
Right, right. And I'd be ready to lose my mind when I hear some of the mouths on these kids. I'm like, man, how do you even know these words? That's crazy. They be talking crazy.
Right.
I'm like, man, I be feeling so disappointed, man. Like, you know, people need to be more aware in um of what they're doing and their influence on their kids. I don't like to give excuses for people, but I get it. Sometimes you're not aware or whatever. But still, man, like we gotta do better as a whole. Like you gotta do better as a whole, because like we keep talking about, it's the village. When these kids is out there, they're looking up to everybody. You know what I'm saying? They're looking up to the rappers. They're looking up to the teenagers, the little kids looking up to the teenagers, like, or they at the park or whatever. Like everybody look up to
Mhm.
somebody. You know what I'm saying? The little kids look up to the teenagers. Teenagers look up to the older ones, and they look up to their parents, and y'all doing crazy stuff, man. You can't get mad at these kids for acting the way they acting, because y'all acting the way y'all acting.
That part. And Grand Rising, Latanya, Grand Rising, everybody. Thank you for coming on this morning. Good morning, loves. That part, Jay. You said something earlier about kids being a
Mhm.
sponge. I don't think we realize that these are little people. They're
Right.
little people.
Other people.
They are, so whatever it is that you're doing, they're going to try and do as well, because you are the example. So
Right.
if you out here twerking on a car, what you think your child go do? If you out here cursing like a sailor, what you think your child go do?
Right.
I think we don't give these kids enough credit. I was when I moved to Chicago, I was honored to be able to be around my older nephew as he's raising his son. And I just he my nephew is just such a little person. He has such a strong personality, but that was because his dad allowed him to be himself. And he also had, just like you said with Mouse, you have regular conversations with her, intellectual conversations, intelligent conversations, not ooh goo goo gaga and trying to talk over these kids' head. A lot of these kids know more than we do. If you have a 3-year-old that can pick up a phone and go on YouTube, that kid can do a lot more than that. Okay, we got to start giving these kids some credit and start um, just realizing that everything that, even though we want to tell them what to do, telling them is not going to make it work. It's doing it
Right.
That's
Right.
what, because we lead by example.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah. So I don't know, Jay. It's I do want to get into some news. So oh, I forgot to send this email. So we got a news release yesterday from the New York State Health Department, from the Erie County Health Department. And let me just read that. Abby said, "That's how my daughter is with sewing." Oh, that's a good business. Oh, I bought her a little sewing machine and she is learning exactly. The other day I caught her sewing her brother's football pants. Oh my God, Abby, I just love you. Supporting them and what they love is very motivating for children. Huge shout out to you, Abby. That's exactly what we are supposed to be doing. That
Right.
is exactly, man, giving these kids a place where they can become. So
Right.
they aren't 47 years old trying to figure it out. And even
Right.
if you are 47 years old trying to figure it out, that is all right. But
Right.
imagine if you had the ability to at least get a little glimpse of
Right.
who you are and what you like as a youngster. you know, man. So let me just get into this. So Erie County is actually releasing so let me just read the media release. It felt good getting a media release, Jay, from the health department. I'm like, yeah, I work for a real media company, y'all. So this is Erie County announces the start of a county-run ambulance service, and I'll post this in the 716 Live radio chat, everyone. So Erie County joined with local municipal leaders and the fire department representatives on September 21st, which was yesterday, to announce the start of a county-run ambulance service. Now, one of the things that I did not like about this is that it's not being rolled out in the Buffalo area, because I know of instances where there weren't any ambulances around. And oh, good morning again, Ashlyn Childs. Good morning, Lola. Good morning. There weren't. Someone called 911 and was told that, I'm sorry, but there aren't any ambulances available. Sure, man. Yes, yes. The person had sarcoidosis and they had an attack.
Mm.
That's a serious. That's what Bernie Mac died from, and the son had to put her in the back of his car and race her up to the hospital because there weren't any ambulances available. So Erie County Executive Mark Poloncarz, the Commissioner of Health, Dr. Gail Bernstein, and Deputy Commissioner of Health Emergency Medical Services, Gregory Gill, outlined the scope of this new program and presented the newly acquired ambulance equipment in front of the Colden Fire Department. Now, this is only being rolled out in Aurora, so it looks like it's a lot of the South towns. So Aurora, Boston, Colden, Collins, Eden, Holland, North Collins, and Wells. Now, I do know those are smaller municipalities, everybody, so that's probably one of the reasons why it's being rolled out there and not in Buffalo. But I think this is a positive thing that they recognize that there's a need in the community for more ambulances and not just these privately run ambulances. That the county needed to step in. So I'm definitely glad about that. So the Erie County Department of Health acquired 2 ambulances and 2 fly cars so far. 3 more ambulances are on order. These vehicles are going to be equipped it's going to be equipped with all the tools necessary. So it's going to have the latest, what do you call those beds? The ones that they pick you up in. I'm just trying to read this, everybody. Oh, so they're stocked with Sky. That's what they are. The Strykers, self-loading stretchers. So they're stocked with that, more comfortable option for patients that reduce the risk of injury for patients and crews during transport. They're also going to be supplied with LifePak monitors that register the heart rate. So their blood pressure, cardiac activity, and blood oxygen level. So it's going to be a fully equipped ambulance that Erie County has. So hopefully it'll be rolled out to other areas once this pilot program gets off and running. Grand Rising, Bro Mike, Grand Rising. Peace and blessings, everyone. Again, thank you so much for tapping in. Right now, we are talking about, is society raising our kids? I'm going to go into a few more news articles. Jay, when you found out that you were about to be a dad, what were your thoughts? Like, as a mom, we carry the children. So for me, I instantly became really protective of this seed that I was carrying. Yes, come on in here and talk, Queen. If you want to come on, we can send you the link so you can jump in. You know, yes, we love all the 716. I love seeing the 716 Live family tap in the morning. This is how we support each other, y'all. This is how we support, by tapping in on each other's show. Lola, you got does Lola have a show tonight?
Yes, she does. Yes, she does.
Late and low? Are they both?
It's late. No, I think that's next week.
Next week. Okay. Oh, Laylo. Yes. I can't wait for them to come on the Vet Green show, to talk about their new show. Right. Let me see. What other news do we have going on, everybody? Oh, so I was on Attorney Ben Krupp. I follow him, and I was on his page yesterday, and he had a lot of information on there, a lot of stories. One of the stories is about a Black-owned mobile barber shop that's just like Uber, but for haircuts. Imagine that, a mobile barber shop. Hey, this is Jay Heat. I need a cut right now. Can I get a haircut in the next 20 minutes? That is so dope. The entrepreneur's name is Darren. He's a Ghanaian native who grew up in Brixton, South London. Always had a passion, and I'm reading this directly from Attorney Ben Krupp's Instagram page. Everybody, if you want to go onto his Instagram page, you can read the article there. Salute, Bro Mike. I can't wait to have you become a part of the 716 Live family. Bring barbershop and mics on over here, or Mike and Mike's. Right. So as a child, Darren said he enjoyed going to the barbershop with his dad, where he gets to socialize with other people for hours. But as he grew older, he realized the importance of time, and he got sick of waiting for the barber to accommodate him. That's when the idea of putting a modern barbershop business came to him. So yeah, everybody, these businesses are popping up all over the place. So big shout out to Darren, who has this mobile barber shop. I was trying to see where it was located, everybody. I do apologize for that. But you can go on Attorney Ben Krupp's Instagram page, and he talks about it there. So what other news do we have to talk about? Oh, this was a good one also. So this I also got on Attorney Ben Krupp's Instagram page. So a Kenyan engineer and entrepreneur, Nzambi Matei, is using science to solve two huge crises at once. She is taking garbage, the plastic that we get out, the plastic that would normally be recycled, and she's making them into bricks that can be used to build things. And these bricks are actually stronger. So what's being reported is that Matei's home city of Nairobi has more plastic waste than it knows what to do with, about 500 metric tons each day. And not all of it is recycled or recyclable. So Matei has developed a creative solution. Matei takes non-recyclable plastic waste from factory, heats it, mix it with sand, compresses the materials into bricks. These bricks range anywhere from These bricks are anywhere from 5 to 7 times stronger than concrete, y'all. Yeah, that little barbershop on the go. Yeah, man, some of these ideas. So yeah, she has already transformed more than 20 tons of waste into bricks since 2017, and they're pretty, they're colorful and everything. So I love seeing what people are using their minds to create, because everything we see and touch started out with a thought of creation. Everything, this computer that I'm using right now, this phone, these are all thoughts that derived and became creation. So don't sleep on yourself, y'all. Don't sleep on yourself. Definitely don't do that. Uh, and then last but not least, Simone Biles. Do you watch the gymnastics? Do you watch those sports at all?
No, but I'm definitely familiar with her and her story.
Yeah. So she US Gymnastics Simone Biles has qualified for the World Championship for the 6th time. This young queen is doing her thing, okay? Doing her thing. Her and Sha'Carri. I love it because we don't normally see people that look like us in those spaces. So for them to be in those spaces makes me feel so good, because that means, my nieces and my nephews see what I wasn't able to see, So big shout out to her. She's going to compete in the World Championship in Antwerp, Belgium from September 30th until October 8th, everybody. So, man, she's definitely one of my sheroes. She's somebody that is paving the way for a lot of youngsters coming up. Bro Mike says this person reminds me of Montgomery. I need to get the contact of this barbershop mobile guy. Yeah, look on Attorney Attorney Crump's Instagram page. The information is there. I love the Shaq Fro. So what's going on this weekend, everybody? What is going on this weekend? We are still talking about, is society raising our kids? If you would like to join the conversation, feel free. We will send you a link. Sha'Carri is the bomb. Feel free to jump in. You don't have to be on camera. It can be audio only. So raise your hand in the chat if you'd like to come on and just provide some of your opinion or some things that you've experienced as a parent. I think everyone on here, for the most part, is a parent. And it's not easy. Like Abby said, it takes a village. It really does. So if we can share some of the experiences that we've gone through, or the things that we are currently using with our kids, like Jay talked about with Mouse. Mouse is only 10 years old. And I love the way him and DJ Bandana Black are raising their daughters. Like, I look at the challenges that I face not having my father around, some of the things that a father would have taught their child. I didn't get that. So you guys are definitely filling in that gap for your daughters. Even though you're not with the moms, you're still active in your daughter's life, which makes a huge difference. I'm telling you, I can't wait to see how these young queens grow up, because you are already equipping them with the necessary tools that they need. Even though, we make our mistakes, especially young ladies. Hey, nephew, Grand Rising, Mario. Grand Rising. Thank you for coming on this morning. He's one of my favorite nephews, Mario. Love you, baby. What was I saying? Oh, yeah. So you both are equipping your daughter with something a lot of us young women with daddy issues wish that we have. Nothing but love to you too, sweetie. Nothing but love to you also. What are some of the things that you knew that you didn't want for Mouse, Jay? Yeah, shout out to the dads in their daughters' lives.
I think, the main thing I knew was to have, to make sure that her parents are involved in her life. Like, I didn't want her to grow up in a environment where she felt isolated or alone. I think that was the first thing that I knew I didn't want for her. Or a toxic environment. Those were the first things.
Yeah. Yeah, me too. I definitely knew, because like I had said, there were times when we were in the projects, and there's a lot of hurt. There's a lot of hurt in the projects, unfortunately, because we have people that's dealing with finance issues, just all types of issues. Not that does not go on outside the projects, but it's a little bit more in depth because it's just, low income people are truly just struggling to try and make ends meet. So I knew that I didn't want my kids affected by the things that they saw outside, like the drug abuse, or even inside. I didn't want them affected by that. So that was my train of thought, to try and do things differently for them. Hey, Mark Lee, grandest to you. Thank you so much for checking in this morning. I'm loving everybody coming in this morning. Mark Lee, you're another one that's you and your wife. I love it. Oh, yes. Let's talk about it. Mark Lee, you want to jump in real quick? You don't have to be on video. You want to talk about the Halloween party? I got to grab some tickets from you and listen, everybody, if y'all want to come get a ticket from me, there's a Halloween party going on that is being hosted by Mark Lee. Lit City 716 Live is involved as well. On what day is it? October 28th?
Saturday. Yep.
Oh yeah. Glow De Niro said we out there.
We are.
Yeah. So what's some of the highlights that we can expect as far as the Halloween party? And Mark Lee, if you're still out there, feel free to request the link, and I guess either myself or Jay can send it to you.
Just make sure your mic working good this time, Mark. But yeah, there's a lot going on, man. We got the cash prizes for the best costume, doing a fashion segment. We got DJ Apollo will be in the building on the ones and twos. Also DJ Brazi, live band, live performances, vendors, all types of. It's just gonna be a good time, man. So make sure y'all come out. Make sure y'all get your costumes together. I asked Tamika yesterday what she was gonna dress up as. I think she said madam. What about you, Vet?
I'm still trying to figure it out. I heard her say that. I could definitely see Tamika being the queen madam, doing that thing. I'm still trying to figure it out, y'all. I'm excited. I'm definitely I have never gone to a Halloween party as an adult, so I'm definitely looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to seeing the 716 Live family come together as a team and show up and show out like we supposed to do at this Halloween party, y'all. So we got to be out there, show up as a team, show that we support each other. All right. This is a 716 Live is also hosting this event. That's how lit. The tickets are $20, Glow. I'm thinking Medusa.
The 716 Live radio, you might catch the free joints.
Oh, that's right. So when are we going to start giving away the tickets? Next week?
We can start doing that Monday morning.
Ooh. Oh, good morning, that burger dude. We got the best burgers in the house.
He know what he doing with that profile picture, man.
Don't it make you hungry? Where you at this weekend, Melvin? Where can we go grab the best burger in town? No lie, y'all. The best burger. Stop going to Red Robin. Stop going to McDonald's.
Facts.
Hit that burger dude. He is that burger dude for a reason. Them suckers so good. What was that? I had the feta, jalapeno, bacon, cheddar. It was so good. What did you get, Jay? You had the Greek, didn't you? The Greek burger or something like that.
It's just the way he makes it, like it's not like he just throws seasoning, like he really makes, man, it's just crazy.
Mm-hmm. Make sure you get your ticket from me, nephew. Oh, you gonna be in Bethlehem Park this weekend? Okay.
Good morning, top of the AM, y'all.
Lamar, get your butt on up in this room. Good morning, Sharice. Good morning, Cuz. Good morning, Lamar. That's a good man. Glow the burger, the picture, the picture looks good. The burger tastes even better.
It's better than the picture, right? It's usually the other way around.
Word. the best burgers and fries. What was that he put on the fries? Parmesan cheese. Like,
Yeah.
dang, Melvin, you guys, before you go to Bethlehem Park, stop by, drop me off some breakfast. I need a burger in my life right now.
Right.
For real, for real. They are so juicy. And he hand makes these burgers. These are not burgers out of a box. These are burgers that he makes himself. Y'all, these are real bump Wendy's, bump McDonald's, freshly made, right in front of you. Right in front of you.
Right. Facts. And then after you're done with that burger, lunch or dinner, you go right down to 242 Allen. That's El Coquito, best Spanish food in town, and that's real. I definitely co-sign that.
That I'm planning on dinner there tonight. I'm planning on dinner there tonight. Are we going to be in there tonight, Jay? What's going on with DJ Apollo?
Oh, we working on it. Man. That's a surprise. We working on it.
Oh yeah, that's lit. Handmade burgers. He's up. He said, other than that, I'll be at 1318 Ridge Road, Lackawanna, Valvoline. Okay, definitely got to get down there, Jay. I may have to grab us some burgers before I come down there later on tonight. Other than that, I'll be at 1318 Ridge Road. Yeah. I plan on being there for the other shows later today, so might have to grab us some burgers, either that or El Cojito. It was what did she tell me it was? Plantains with meat. Somebody had posted a picture on did a review, and I had to jump in her box like, Coco, like, what is this? It looks so delicious. So definitely going to be hitting her up. I was sick when she opened. Looking forward to even interviewing her. I love women entrepreneurs. I love all entrepreneurs, but I especially have a heart for the women because it's hard out here for us. Oh, Grand Rising, Tamara, Grand Rising, bestie. I see you out there. I'm going to chop it up with y'all on that podcast info. Yes, I'm still waiting to let Jay. Did I send you that information about the podcast? I read it during my breaks yesterday, so I haven't even had a chance to talk to Jay about it yet, Melvin. So make sure you do. I totally forgot. My bad. I was reading my messages during the conference I was at yesterday, and yes, he is definitely. I'm about to send you the link, Lamar. He's interested in a podcast, Jay. So he's interested in joining the family. So if anybody else is out there interested in joining the 716 Live family, now Jay doesn't accept everybody. I'm back. Yes, I'm back, sis. Yes.
DJ Apollo was just having this conversation last night. It's not for everyone. It's not like, oh yeah, everyone just come on in. It's not. You got to be a certain caliber of a person, man. You got to have certain caliber of ambition, and if we ain't just willy-nilly in it out here.
Yeah, Lamar, I just sent you the new link, and yes, Tamara, I didn't get into the house until after midnight last night, and then I was up surfing the net and doing some videos and stuff. So I'm working on about 2 hours of sleep. Tamara, hit me back later on, though. We got to do something tonight since you are back. Yes, shout out to all the women bosses, y'all. We are doing things out here. I love what Lola Rue is doing. Like, she is an entrepreneur. I love these ladies. She's out here and recruiting boss bunnies. If you are interested in being a boss bunny, one thing I can honestly say about Lola is that she will take you under her wing. Because I've already sent people to her, and no questions asked. She's like, yep, she's willing to be a mentor, and she's very, very supportive of other women, which I love.
Lola
she's not.
Lola
Isn't she, Jay? Mm-hmm. She's different. Lola's different. She cares. She cares. And I remember I was interviewing Lola on the Think and Grow with Vet Green show, and she brought 2 other boss bunnies with her. And during her interview, she's making sure that I know about what these women are doing. It's so many instances where I can talk about where I was like, yes, Lola is that queen. Grand Rising, Danrielle, Grand Rising, so many instances where I was like, yeah, she's somebody, she's part of my tribe, definitely part of my tribe. I love when women support other women and do it with no questions asked. And she's definitely one of those women. everyone, last I knew, she was still recruiting for Boss Bunnies. If you are interested in just learning about what that is, make sure you hit Lola Rue up. She's also on as Ashlyn Childs. You really do care, Queen. I know you care. I know for a fact you care, because I see it in the way you carry yourself. I see it in the way you interact with other women. Like, you don't shoot them down. Like, that's just been my experience. It's just different. I love, one of the things 716 Live has done for me is it's opened up the doors to meet other like-minded women, which I love. I wouldn't have met, the Lola. I wouldn't have met the Abby. I wouldn't, you know what I mean? I wouldn't have met these young women who's out here doing it. Oh, Lamar's in here, 4-star Lamar. Yes. Oh, I would love to be a part of that men's group. God told me a while ago that I'm supposed to be mentoring young men, or mentoring men, which is, I don't know. I'm dealing with some inner stuff, y'all. When you are sexually abused, is kind of difficult to, like some things can be very triggering for me. So I've been sitting with that for a while, because you know how some of y'all men can be. Y'all take things way to the left, and we supposed to be right here in the middle, and you take things way to the left. So when I'm mentoring, am I lying though, Lamar? Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Everybody takes stuff to the left. Everybody.
Good.
We all human. I done did it. Everybody did it. If you ain't did it, you're not human. Everybody done had their moment where it was like, okay, yeah, you know what? That was a little fire. That was a little fire.
Yeah,
it happens.
I gotta plug my laptop in, y'all.
How you feeling this morning, Lamar?
I'm good, brother. How you doing, Jay? How you feeling this morning, dog?
Phenomenal.
That's good, man. I'm glad to hear it.
Facts, man. So how was your week? What you got going on?
Not too much. Caught a couple games. I caught the game last night. I know you're not a big football head, but
who played?
The Giants and the San Francisco 49ers.
Okay.
Ooh, who won?
In San Francisco. So they got the nice sunny weather of San Francisco. The Giants coming off of that win. I told you they was my pick last week for the game they had last week with the comeback. They couldn't do it twice. They got ran over by the 49ers. The 49ers just had too many weapons. The defense is too good. They couldn't handle it. They tried. They don't got their star running back, Saquon Barkley. I call him the cyborg, because that's how he play on the football field. So they didn't have my man Cyborg on the field. And they tried, but they just got trampled. So shouts out to the Giants for giving it the old 1-2, but that you needed to come with some more numbers. That 1 and 2 just wasn't enough.
Okay, that's what's up, man. We're gonna get more into the sports in a little bit. Right now, how many kids you got, Lamar?
I got 3 altogether.
Okay.
Yeah, congratulations on becoming an honorary member of the morning show. Everybody tell Lamar congratulations. Of course, you impressed the boss. So you impressed the boss. But yeah, we're talking about, is society raising your kids?
Well, I think society always plays a part in raising anybody, because you can't just keep some kids sheltered from, the world. I always say, my grandmother always say that there's intelligence and there's street smarts. Intelligence is the stuff that you learn in books and you go to school for and all that. And street smarts is knowing not to go down a dark alley in Buffalo at 3:00 in the morning. Like, you know what I mean? I've always tried to pride myself on being a good balance of, It might not be an even balance, but it's a good balance of both, as far as street smarts and intelligence. But I believe that, I was a kid, like my mother worked 2 jobs. You know what I mean? So I got raised by my friends and peers and all that, and movies and video games raised me.
We didn't even talk about that. Them parents who's out. And I think Abby wrote that earlier, talking about that. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but yeah, I just wanted to touch on that. That's huge, because a lot of times we aren't in the house because we're working.
My mother worked 2 jobs, so it was just like she went 9 to 5, came home, showered, whatever, shaved. She was back out by 6:30, and not home till after I'm supposed to be sleep anyways. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, I got raised a lot by society, but it's all in the younger years. I always say I'm not a parental genius or expert or nothing like that, but I always say by 10. You got by 10 years old to really put your imprint onto a child. You know what I mean? After that, it's too many outside influences. They got too many friends. They got too much stuff to do. You really got to the age of 10. I mean, with some kids, that number may be lower or higher, but I think 10 is like a really good age to be like, I got to give you this foundation, and then you build off of that foundation. That's all we can do as parents, is build the foundation. I can't build the walls. I can't build the bathroom or the bedroom. All I can just do is really just give you the base and hope I did a good job. You know what I mean? That's all you can do.
That 10. So there's this thing called the formative years, and with kids, and it's the time period between 0 and 8 years, and it's when the brain is developing the fastest after birth. Those formative years are the most important for kids, because it really depicts a lot how they view the world, how they are in the world. Those formative years, if you think about, I don't know if you took arts and crafts and y'all made the statues or anything like that, you're forming it. So think about, that's what's happening to the kids during that 0 to 8 years old. We're forming them. So 10 years, 9 years also. I recognize that with my kids, especially with my boys and my girls, it's like that 9 year, once they turned 9, that 9 to 10, it was different. Like it was a different personality. Lamar and Jay, you're probably experiencing this now, or maybe not yet, because Mouse loves her dad. I love that. But there's going to become a point where you are not the cool dad anymore. And it's different. It's different when, these kids, they have a different personality. And those of you, and good morning, Miss Veronica. Thank you so much for tapping in this morning. Wow, that is so cool, Miss Veronica, tapping in. I feel special, y'all. Man. Yeah, so I don't know. So how is it raising because you have a girl and a boy? How is it? Is it a big difference that you found in raising them?
Oh, night and day. You lucky, Jay. See, you only got to deal with the female part. And at nature, we just get along with females. I get along with my daughter so much better. Me and my son bump heads all the time. All the time. My daughter is just yes, daddy, and go off, and would you like for me to do this, and I'm gonna read and all that, and my son's no, his face is like this 24/7. I told him he was gonna stop. No, what? Because I said no. Boy, do you know who I am? Like, I be feeling like I'm talking to him right now. Like, I relate a lot to Bernie Mac, the Bernie Mac show. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the Bernie Mac show. God rest the late great Bernie Mac, but that's what I feel like in the house, like 24/7. Like this one is this one's trying to stop this one from doing. Boys and girls are just so night and day. But I always say, now since I got both, I always say that girls say bad stuff, boys do bad stuff. They both do bad stuff. Girls are slick with this, and boys are jumping off the top of stuff and messing with stuff and all types of stuff. If I had $1 for every time I caught my son trying to get on top of the refrigerator, just some stupid stuff.
Mine too. It must run in the family. It must run in the family, because my son, before he could walk, remember those big screen televisions that were like 6 feet? So he started walking at 7 months. So he was a very, very fast learner. One day he's supposed to be sitting on the floor. My mom's watching. No, me and my mom's in the kitchen. He's supposed to be sitting on the floor, doing something. I go back in the living room. This little boy then climbed on the couch and climbed on top of the television, ready to jump. I'm like, that you summed it up very well, little girls. Because I also realized when my daughters turned 5, this became an issue. I remember my one daughter telling me, because I was like, you always have a rebuttal. Every time I say something, you always have to say something. She's like, well, Ma, I feel like if I didn't say anything, I would just die. Like, what do you Is Mouth slick with the mouth, Jay? Is she slick with the mouth at all?
You know, not with me. With her mother, she's extremely slick with her mouth.
See, that's how it be. We get the brunt of it. Us mothers, the mothers get the brunt of that slick mouth from the little girls. Tamara, you laughing? Yeah, my girlfriend raising two. She raised her son. Now she's raising her daughters, which is different because her son is grown with babies himself, and now she's raising her teenage daughters. So that's a huge difference, I bet, Tamara. And you can, Tamara, if you want to come in and join the conversation again, anybody. 716 Live is a platform for the people. If you want to come in and join the conversation, you can do that. You do not have to be on camera, everybody. You don't have to be on camera. We just want to provide a space for you to join the conversation. Just think some of the experience you've had may help someone else out there that's going through a similar experience. So I like to share.
So Glow asked, do y'all think that society and social media, or both, as far as raising the kids?
Well, nowadays, social media. I say social media. It is way easier access to social media than it is society. You know what I mean? As a whole, you can look at your phone at 2:00 in the morning. You're not leaving the house. You're not going nowhere. You know what I mean? You're just gonna be in the house. But as far as access to Instagram, Facebook, yada yada yada, you got access to that 24/7. So I definitely believe it's social media. And I am a big fan of. I do not. I love what social media brings as far as the availability and the education. Nowadays, you don't have to go to a library to learn something. You can learn something right from your phone. I love that, and I dig that. But on the other end, it gives everybody access to everybody, and everybody does not deserve access to everybody. It gives you access to people's comments and thoughts and stuff like that. And certain people just, I want to say like they shouldn't be heard, but it's certain people that just shouldn't be heard. As far as certain negative, you know what I mean? Certain things, like I know girls who have had suicidal thoughts off of being body shamed from social media. You know what I mean?
I'm about to get into that, Lamar.
That's not fair. People don't know that their words hurt. You know what I mean? So with that being said, just because you type them don't mean they hurt less.
Right.
What about you, Jay? What do you think is social? Ashlyn says social media for sure is so annoying.
Well, I mean, social media is society, just online. I think that, again, it comes down to the parenting, because I'll give you an example. Like my daughter, let's do TikTok, right? Or YouTube. So now you can go on either of these platforms or any of these social media platforms, and same thing with Facebook. Like my Facebook, I get the blocking real quick on Facebook, man. If I see something that doesn't make sense to me, I start blocking, and there's nothing personal. It's not like I hate people or nothing like that. But if I see something you posting some crazy, like I'm not trying to see or hear or, whatever, I'm blocking you, because I have the ability to do that. Just like anybody with these platforms, you have the ability to choose what information you take in. So like with YouTube, my daughter will sit there, and perfect example is we'll be watching a video on like quantum physics, or quantum mechanics or whatever, you know what I'm saying? And she'll sit there, and we'll sit there, and she'll be interested, grab her snacks and ask questions, and we'll be all into these videos. And it's like, at the very same time, it's just as easy to be watching whoever with no clothes on and twerking and doing whatever it is they're doing. And so it's up to the parent to decide like what information is they're being able to access. You know what I'm saying? I could sit there and be like, all right, well, watch what you want, go off and do what I'm doing, and next thing you know, you come back and you see whoever on the screen doing whatever it is they doing. The kids, or even you ain't even gotta be a kid. It could be just like I just said, like me. I see stuff that I don't, it ain't got nothing to do with being a kid or adult. It's like, man, I'm not involved with that part of society, man. Like whatever it is, whether it's like I just said, like women, I'm not really a fan of women exposing themselves. I'm not really a fan of that. Everyone's got their own whatever, but I'm not a fan of that. So if I'm not going to sit there and be okay with my 10-year-old daughter watching somebody like, whoever these artists, I can't think of anybody, but whoever these city girls or whatever, that's the only one I can think of.
Ice Spice. I seen Ice Spice this morning. Let's go Ice Spice.
Yeah, or Sukihana. Like, I'm so mad at her. Sukihana is just like taking us way back right now. Like,
so much popularity and so much, star power. It's hard. They everywhere. They on commercials. They got 100 million views. So it's hard, and they got catchy hooks, and the beat nice. So you get mesmerized by it. The kids, they like the sound. They don't even know what they're saying. And, it gets crazy from there. So like I said, it's up to the parents to just filter all of that. And, you can use the social media platforms for other things like Lamar had just mentioned. Like you have access to it. It's like a library. You know what I'm saying? You have access to all of that. 2 a.m. you could be looking up like stuff like, where's the space telescopes, like what they got going on, on Mars right now, what they, what's going on with the Silicon Valley or whatever, with, what kind of chips are we building today? What kind of, what's going on with the monetary system? Or you could be looking up Ice Spice, it's really up to you.
Which I think that's one of the issues. Something I learned yesterday that I was very, very surprised about. Did you know, or did anybody in the audience know that Black teenagers are 50% more likely to have an eating disorder than their white counterparts? Shocking, right?
Yeah, I did not know that.
Yeah. And a lot of it has to do with social media. These kids are looking at these faux realities. It's a false reality because a lot of people, they filter out their pictures, and they can even filter out their body to make it look way different than they really are in person. So that did you see the latest cover of Ebony magazine and Little Kim? Like, no, unless they said that it was Little Kim, you probably wouldn't even recognize her.
Yeah, no, I remember No Time, Lil Kim. That's what I remember. I don't know who this lady is that's around here.
Man, it is bad. I'm gonna see if I can pull it up, everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I've always been like I'll go dark. And people and I feel bad because now I'm actually on Facebook about to say this, but I'll go dark. I really won't go on Facebook or any of that stuff for like months, like especially if it's not like business or trying to like promote something related. Like, you know what I'm saying? I get in the lab and I start writing something. I won't wish anybody happy birthday on Facebook for like 9 months. I'm sorry, y'all. I really am. And that's the part that's wrong with it. Like, I'm generally a nice person. I'm more amped to wish you happy birthday in public than I am on Facebook. That's just how I roll. That's just how I am. People take stuff so personally from Facebook. Like, I've seen relationships, I've seen friendships, I've seen over a website. Like, you know what I mean? Over a website, I've seen double-digit year relationships go down a drain. You know what I mean? And it's crazy. I don't know if the people at home can see, I got a little gray right here. I got a little seniority. I might be a little bit older than a couple of y'all folks watching right now. But I remember the days before Instagram and Facebook and all that. And guess what? People still was shiesty. People still was this. People still was that. I believe social media just brings it to the forefront now. Right. Now you can be in everybody's business, and I don't want everybody in my business. Honestly, it is some people that's just not worth being in my business, and I'm sure I'm not worth being in somebody else's business. Like, you know, it's just not. I feel a certain type of way about the internet. I really do, because it's like it's the most beautiful tool that's used for the worst reasons in the world.
Right. Man, that's facts right there. Glow said, yeah, so with all the access, are you all scared that they'll find a way, even with parental control, or learn something insane at school that they search it up?
They're already doing that.
Right. Yeah. You know, it's definitely a concern of mine, but you know, you can only do so much. Like I was saying earlier with vet, like you can only do the best you can. After that, there's nothing else. You know, this
Like
is
I know,
nothing
like
else.
I know for a fact, like I try to parental control so much, just because when you got three, you can't watch all three at the same time unless they bunched up together, which they never are. They all got different likes and tastes. They all want to watch different stuff. They all want to listen to different stuff. So they'll gather up sometime, but usually they separate. They got their own separate groups of friends, all that. I got a 5, a 9, and a 14-year-old. So I gotta look out for like real like different stuff. I'm worried about sex with this one. This one's starting to have like female, like, you know what I'm saying, body transformations. And then I got this one that's in first grade. And it's like they all got different likes and wants and stuff like that. So it's really hard to like parental, you know what I'm saying, like guide them. You gotta just hope that, like I said, that foundation earlier, just hope you build a good foundation and hopefully it'll build off of that. But of course, what I noticed with kids is they talk a lot, and they'll tell you, if you really listen, they'll tell you stuff that you're not supposed to know, that they don't want you to know, but they just slipped up and told you. Me and my kids got an excellent relationship. They talk to me a lot. That's how I found out about it. I don't know if any of y'all got any young ones out there. Huggy Wuggy. I brought this up because of what they just talked about. Huggy Wuggy is like some type of demonic figure they put in children's videos. So the video will start off normal, like SpongeBob SquarePants or Johnny Test or anything like that. It'll start off normal. And as you get 8, 9, 10 minutes in, this demonic figure will pop up out of nowhere. And it was getting kids. It was trying to get kids to like eventually commit suicide. Like if you get a chance, yes, crazy. This was crazy.
I remember that.
Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. They're even finding ways like, unfortunately, as the rest of us get intelligent, the no good people get intelligent as well. We're all evolving. Like we talked about evolution the other day. Unfortunately, even the pieces of crap are evolving.
That's true.
Becoming better pieces of crap.
Some of these Disney movies, there's sexual annotations in them. I had to go back and watch some of them. Like, oh my God, like that went way over my head. They find ways of sneaking things in there. I guess we just have to make sure we know what our kids are involved in. You have to, like Melvin said, you have to stay engaged and involved. We can't leave it to the teachers to raise our kids or to society to raise our kids, because what happens when that happens, then we have kids that go wayward. We have kids that don't even, have, I don't know, they just don't turn out to be good products for society.
Well, I believe a lot plays into that. Like, you know what I mean? I believe kids are spoiled for a majority of the part, like, and not even spoiled like as personally from parents, but just spoiled as they just got, like I said, they got internet. Like it's just so much more stuff that's available. Ubers. Me and my mother was walking bags back and forth from Tops. I had 4, she had 2, and we was trudging. Now you get a lift. Those was jitney men back in the days, people. I know what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? But we couldn't afford stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? They just got so much access to so much stuff that I think it makes them lazy. Like those walks made me a better person now.
That's real.
Going through that snow made me a better person now. I hated it at the time, but it made me a better person now. And I think some kids be needing that, honestly.
Let me ask you both this. I'm going to have to hop off in a minute and I'll leave it to the men. I was watching something, I feel like, and the question was posed because our kids don't necessarily have the same struggles that we have. Do you think that we are raising weaker kids? Because like you're talking about the walk to Tops with your mom. I can remember I didn't have a car. Me and my mom going out to the mall to get a case of Pampers, groceries, and like we're on the bus doing this thing, and the bags busting, getting off the bus. My kids don't really know that reality. So and strong legs. Yes, Tamara, and strong legs. We did.
I'm gonna show my calves on video one day. I'm telling you, all this is fact. Them calves hard as rocks. I'm telling you, I didn't put in some miles. I didn't put in some miles. And that's what I was about to just say. I don't think we're raising weaker kids. I just think they're stronger in different areas than we were. You know what I'm saying? I just think their weaknesses are in different areas than ours, and their strengths are in different areas than ours. Prime example, my daughter is 9. She told me that she want to be she want to be the first president, for the first Black female president of the United States.
I know that's right.
I would have never fathomed to even think of being president of the United States back when I was a kid. Honestly, like that's just how, like, me personally, I was raised. You go to work, you come home, you rinse and repeat. That's how I was raised. We weren't really raised to have dreams, and they weren't shunned, but we weren't really pushed in that direction. Where now I believe that because of how we were raised, we kind of push our kids more into the sky's the limit. You know what I'm saying? You can really do anything if you put your mind to it. Where I'm not saying my mother didn't think that, but she never really, you know what I mean? She never really told me that. It's just like, oh yeah, I got faith in you. If I told her I was doing something new, oh yeah, I know you can do that. She was very supportive as far as stuff like that. But we were just raised to just be like, yo, go to school so you can get a job, so you can go to work, so you can do that and retire
and die. That is true. That is true. It was a lot different back then. Our parents, I feel like that was their frame of thinking, because that's what they were taught. You get a job, do what you got to do. I didn't even think about being an entrepreneur. It just was not a thought of mine. I didn't even think it was possible. I would never have done this. You know, that's where that self-development comes in. That burger dude said, Satan is devilishly intelligent. Perfect example is Santa. No mystery why Satan and Santa are the exact same letters. Yeah.
I mean, but that's the thing about it. Like, I've always, like, one thing I think in my older age that I've gotten to is I've got to appreciate the bad. Because, like I said, heaven doesn't look that awesome if there's no hell. Like, you know what I'm saying? The bad reflecting on stuff is what makes good people are rare and good, because everybody's not good people. If everybody was good, it wouldn't be special. It'd be like breathing or walking or anything else, where a lot of people can do it and take it for granted. But that doesn't make it any less cool, because there's some people out here who can't walk. There's some people out here who can't, you know what I mean? But it's something that we take for granted. My feet hurt right now. Like, you know what I mean? It's just, I can't say, like I said, when I look at negativity and the devil and stuff like that as a necessary evil. Because there has to be an evil to have a positive.
That's right. It's the law of it's the, what is that? That one Newton's law. For every one thing, there has to be an equal and opposite thing. So we can't have good without the evil. It's impossible. That's why we have the two people on our shoulders. We have that devil. Remember the cartoon where they would have the devil and the angel? You want to pick the angel more and the devil less.
Yeah.
Yin and yang. Exactly. Ting and tang. Yep. Grand Rising. What's good, y'all? I don't know who that is that said what's good, y'all. Put your name in the chat, please.
I think as far as my perspective on the whole raising weak or strong, I would definitely say this generation of humans is being raised to be extremely weak. The only thing that I see that's positive is the ability to take in more information now. Like, they have access to a lot more information, and so if they're being raised right, then that gives them the ability, or the door is at least there for them to excel a lot faster than we used to be able to. But overall, I think we're raising a bunch of extremely weak people. Like, people can't even think straight. They can't, physically they're weak. They can't focus. They can't it's just crazy. Like, I feel like there's and then plus with the whole like shaming, all types of different things, like shaming, anything really. It's so much. You can't do anything without somebody like having a
negative opinion. Say it.
Negative opinion.
Lamar's like, just say it.
Go ahead, say it.
it's just so much because it's like, it's not even just negative opinions, it's also like laws and different, it's all types of things that don't allow people to be people, like you without
Mhm.
like one of my favorite comedians is Dave Chappelle. You know what I'm saying? Like when he gets on stage and he gets to talking, like dude be saying things that if anyone else was saying it, man, they'd probably
Mhm.
be facing some kind of time. You know what I'm saying? That's
Mhm.
and because society is building those walls, people are I don't want to use the word protected because you're not really protecting people, but people are overprotected to the point that they're being built to be weak because they can't take anything. You can't take physical situations. You can't take people talking, verbal exchange. If somebody says something you don't like, you start crying. Like that's crazy. You know what I'm saying? You can't even have an opinion without somebody wanting to commit suicide now about it. Like it's like chill,
Yeah.
or kill you. Get so upset that they want to take your life. You know what I'm saying? Like so, yeah, soft, poor, all of that, man. It's just crazy. But like I said earlier, I think that the one good thing is the amount of information that's available to everybody. So you just gotta guide
Yeah. You Kenna Grand Rising, you Kenna Grand Rising, Dale Hayes. Thank you so much for tapping in. You Kenna, I think this is your first time tapping in as well.
that
Good
for having.
morning, Darnell. Good morning, everybody. I see that. Listen, I'm loving. I keep seeing the number keep going up, keep going up. Yeah, they are loving the morning show. That's because this is a positive experience. We've been told that this is people's morning cup of coffee, that they tune into the show to get a positive outlook for their day. Yeah, people are overly sensitive. I feel like there's so many components to emotions. Well, there's actually four components to five components to emotions, and I agree. Like everything has to be politically correct now, and I get it. We don't want to offend anyone, but we also have to, like we need more Dave Chappelle's that's going to tell the truth even when it stings, even when it stinks, even when it doesn't smell good. It's still the truth. Yakena had said on here that people can't take the truth. You are absolutely right. We are afraid of the truth. Yakena, I would add that we're afraid of the truth. We don't want to admit that there can be something wrong in that. Glow said, yep, they are overly sensitive, like we're all supposed to think the same. Laugh out loud. This isn't a utopia. Yes, that programming. Can we talk about that? Can we talk about the unprogramming that has to be done? I'm still unprogramming myself. Like, man, I'm with you, Lamar. Me and social media have a love-hate relationship. I get that I have to be on here because of the nature of my business, but it is not something that I enjoy. I can't wait till the day where I can afford to have somebody run my social media account. You feel me? Because I am an absorber, and I take it. Man, sometimes it takes me out. The truth shall set you free. You ain't lied. You ain't lied. You ain't lied. You ain't lied. The truth shall definitely set you free. It really does.
I tell you, like I said, and I know one thing I think about is overly sensitive people. And I know I might catch a little backlash for this, but just like we said, we need a couple of Dave Chappelle. So I've never been afraid to say something about anything. With that being said, the community. We all know who the community is. I forget the letters in which order they go around.
LGBTQ.
Yep, I forget. I don't even try to disrespect nobody. We're even trying to guess how the letters are supposed to go. I just refer to them as the community now because they pretty much, you know what I'm saying, run stuff. And it's a very good example. Like a lot of the things that they actually end up getting is because people are scared to offend them. That's it. That's the main reason. And it's like they're people. I'm not scared to offend nobody if it's heartfelt, and I'm speaking facts. You know what I'm saying? I ain't afraid to offend. I have a whole bunch of space that's not around me. If I offend you, you can be somewhere where I'm not. But I'm not gonna curb my mouth for nobody besides for like my mom and stuff like that. Like I got barriers, but people are very overly sensitive. When I found out that they start making a third bathroom, like in like North Carolina and stuff like that, that's bugged out to me. That's like crazy to me. Like to make it to where to not offend people, you basically just get a whole new room. It's been
Yeah.
too
What was your first experience with seeing a new bathroom? Like, what was your first
Have you? I haven't seen any yet. Have you?
Yeah, I haven't seen one yet, but I hear I hear they're around.
I forgot where I was at. I think it was like a Wendy's or something. I was going to the bathroom and I had, I'm like, okay, and I looked up. I'm like, oh damn, like, which bathroom am I supposed to go in?
That's crazy. Now I get it because and hopefully I don't get any backlash, but if I do, I'm coming at y'all as a mom now. If you have a man, you got the FBI, CIA, and LGBTQ. You can't say nothing about them. Yeah, it's getting to be like that. It really is. I don't agree. If you are transitioning from a man to a woman, I don't like the idea of that man going into the woman's bathroom. And I may be wrong. I just don't. That it doesn't sit right with me, especially because you have little kids going in there. Yes, Auntie Booby. You know what I mean? I don't know, y'all. Like I'm trying to be progressive in my thinking. Lord knows I am, because I have 6 kids. So you can imagine I have a little bit of everything. But that part, I don't know. It just doesn't sit right with me, y'all. And I may, like I said, educate me. I'm not afraid of being educated or pulled to the side and say, you know what, let me educate you on this. And this is why I think that. But I just don't agree with it. I don't like that idea either. And I'm part of this. Thank you, Glow. Thank you so much for speaking up. Thank you. So I'm thank you, because I don't ever want to offend anyone. Like I said, I have 6 kids. So listen, you name it, I probably got it. Okay.
So what do y'all think about this situation where, okay, so originally it's male and female, okay, and then you go into like a locker room or say the bathrooms, let's keep it bathrooms,
Okay.
And now you have another type of human where it's like maybe they used to be a female, now they're a male, or they used to be a man, now they're a female. Should there be like 4 bathrooms, or should there be 2 bathrooms and then 1 bathroom for either? Like, if you had a sex change period, no matter which way it was, all of those people go to that 3rd bathroom, or should we have like multiple types of bathrooms? Like, what do y'all think about that?
See, that's a lot.
And see, when I originally thought of it, because I'm on both sides as far as the need and the not the need to have one, because I would flip out if like there was some grown man in the bathroom with my daughter. Like, you know what I'm saying? As me being a man, when me and my daughter go hang, I gotta hang outside the bathroom. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'll be yelling there, baby, you okay? Stuff like that.
Absolutely.
But I don't go into the bathroom because I'm a man. You know what I'm saying? And there's other little girls in there. I know how I would feel, so I'm not going in there, because you know what I'm saying? I got a little girl too, so I dig it. With that being said, I dig the need for one, but I think that we don't need a whole extra room. I think we can. I've seen some bathrooms where you throw an extra stall up or something like that, a stall where it's just like, you know what I'm saying, closed off where nobody can see, and you can do everything. Like, we all got toilets at home. I don't care what sex you is. You can use a regular normal toilet. Some people can use urinals or not. That's a whole different, but everybody can use a toilet.
Mm-hmm. Or use that family room. Like you notice a lot of the airports and places, they have the family bathrooms. Just use that. Grand Rising, DJ Apollo. Grand Rising. Make sure y'all check out DJ Apollo's show tonight at 8.
Vibe check.
Yes. Yes. See, Ashlyn said, yeah, I don't like that. So give them a personal bathroom. That's a whole discussion in itself, y'all. Maybe we should continue that discussion, because that's an entire discussion in itself.
Don't get me started. I got that. When I'm driving, I see the people for I don't know if anybody stayed near Central Buffalo. I'll see the people with the abortion signs. That's a whole nother show. Don't get me started. Don't get me started on the abortion people. Like, I almost flipped out on one of them the other day.
Yeah, that's too much. Like, how dare you? Whatever your personal beliefs are, those are your personal beliefs. It is, how dare you? You know what I mean? Like, how dare you? That's my belief.
My thing is, because and the crazy thing about it is nothing's too raw to say to somebody nowadays, especially when it comes to people the opposite hue of us. I'm not going to get into that, but the opposite color of us, they really think they have a lot of rights and regulations that we don't have. Okay, you know what? I'll play your game. That's fine. But what are you doing to make the world a better place for these kids to come into? You telling me to have it, that's fine. What are you doing to make this world a better place? Because all I see is racism. All I see is murder. All I see is it's been more child pedophiles arrested in the last 5 years than ever in history. Shut up talking to me. I was pulling over. I was taking my mom to work. I almost flipped out on one of them because they were stopping some girl from going in there. And one, as me being a man, and it was a man too, as me being a man, I feel like I cannot tell a woman what to do with their body.
Yeah, it's like, how dare you?
That's your body. Just like you're not going to tell me what to do with mine. You know what I'm saying?
Go get a vasectomy right now. We're going to force you. Like when that came out about the making abortions illegal, it's like, huh? Like, okay, let's make vasectomies where you have to have them. Especially if you don't have certain things, you don't have a job, you don't have a house, you don't have certain things, go get a vasectomy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, come on, y'all. Because Tamara said, because they got these things babysitting the kids instead of being parents to them. I feel I could be wrong. Nope. But a lot of people just put that in there to pacify their kids. Yeah. This is a good discussion. Ashlyn said, yeah, we're going to definitely pick this discussion up. Lamar, I know you had some sports news to report on, so I am going to get off, everybody. We only have 10 more minutes. This was an excellent discussion. Everybody, welcome Lamar to the morning show. Welcome, Lamar. And we have a nice lineup coming on from tonight also, Jay, right?
Every Friday, we got, man, just stay tapped in. Lola, Big Lay, Abby, DJ Apollo, stay tapped in, man.
Yeah, Glow said, welcome, Lamar. Welcome. Yeah, everybody go to Lamar Washington's page and show him some love. Tell him welcome to the family, to the 716 Live family.
I appreciate it. This is not it. I've been talking to Jeffrey. I think I'm gonna do a sketch comedy.
Oh, so y'all did talk.
Yeah, we did talk. We talked for a little bit.
Look at the relationships that's forged through 716 Live. I love it.
He probably on here somewhere watching right now.
Yeah, he was. He was on. I saw him earlier. I said good morning to him. Yeah, Jeffrey's on almost every morning. He's one of the ones that gave us a lot of positive feedback. He said that like the morning show is very uplifting, which we love. You know, and make sure y'all tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend about the 716 Live morning show. We are in competition, y'all. Listen, okay, move over, Breakfast Club. We are having real life discussions. This ain't about just the gossip, all right? We are having some real life discussions on here. Oh, Grand Rising, Rhonda. I love seeing my family come through. I love seeing family come through. So Grand Rising, Rhonda, everybody have a wonderful day. Lamar, I'm going to let you get into about these sports. So take it away.
Okay. All right. Well, I was talking to my man Jay earlier. I headed into the Thursday night football game real quick with Giants versus the 49ers. A very solid game. I love seeing a game that's very competitive with no injuries. I didn't really see any big injuries. We just seen a real bad injury to Nick Chubb from the Cleveland Browns last week, where it put him out for the season. Aaron Rodgers is out for the season. A lot of these guys is getting hurt and getting older. So it's good to just see people competing and being healthy and just having fun and doing what they want to do, which is technically entertain us.
Lamar, before you go so what happens, and not to take up too much time, when they're out for the season, unless it's in their contract, do they get paid?
Oh, yeah. Well, it's a part of there's part that's incentive based, and then there's a part of their contract that's guaranteed money. Like if you ever watch like Sports or something, they'll say he signed $100 million contract and 30 million of it is guaranteed. That 30 million is guaranteed. He can literally decide to stop playing football tomorrow, and they still owe him $30 million at least. You know what I mean? So there's certain part. Some better players get higher guaranteed amounts in that percentage of contract as opposed to some of the lower players. But a good majority of them has at least a small amount of guaranteed money in their contract.
Okay. Thank you for explaining that.
Yeah, and some of them are incentive based. Some people have if you get 1,000 yards, you get an extra whatever. If you get so many touchdowns, you'll get it. Yeah, there's some people that get that type of stuff in there, but
Oh,
it's also
wow.
some people that get contracts where Kirk Cousins, quarterback for the Minnesota Vikings, signed a contract where he had it was like a $98 million contract, and $98 million of it was guaranteed. Whoever his agent is the best agent in the world on the planet. He got all his money guaranteed. He could have
Wow.
literally woke up the next day and decided not to play football anymore and been a millionaire.
Got that 98 million. Ooh, wait.
Crazy. Let me see. So I don't know if I'll be able to see you or we'll have time, because I know a lot of our conversations go crazy and go to the left, which they should. I mean, that's the point. That's what we do. You know
Yeah,
what I
we
mean?
always have well, Monday, not tomorrow. Well, Monday we'll have even more because Sunday football.
Yep. So I got some picks for my Sunday football. You know what I mean? Have a couple people and a couple teams for you guys to watch. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna get Jay to watch some football.
I gotta add you to the chat, the 716 Live morning chat.
And the one game that I really was looking at coming up, besides I think the game of the week is going to be the Monday night game. But if I'm just strictly concentrating on Sunday games, I'm going to have to go with the Chargers and the Vikings. I think that's going to be the game to watch this week. They both got stars on both sides of the ball. I know y'all all seen this dance right here where they do the little what's the name? Yeah, he playing in that game. So he going to be there. You know what I mean? UB's own Khalil Mack will be playing in that game as well. So I think that's going to be a game to watch this Sunday. If you get a chance or you got NFL Sunday ticket or something like that, and you can choose whatever game you watch, this is the game that I will watch.
Okay. All right. So do y'all have anything going on this weekend before I get off? What's going on this weekend out in the streets?
Who's Facebook user asking for footage? Who's
I know. I was trying to.
I got
can I get that footage? Like, what footage you talking about?
Yeah. Jay, I know you ain't got nothing going on out there.
What footage you talking about? Let me find out. Is a video Jay laughing? I'll be like,
Gotcha. Glow, thank you so much. Glow said there is no competition. Let them know 716 Live is
Big
the
Glow.
best.
Hey, Glow.
Let them know. I love seeing the love for us. I really do, because that means we're doing something right. Like there's so much negativity out there, and we've talked about it before, how a person can put something positive. Like most of the stuff that I put up, 90% of the time is going to be positive. But if I let me put up something negative, people are jumping on it. Like, man.
People love negativity. People love, you know what I'm saying? I remember it was a comedy skit I seen a long time ago. It was on like the internet or something. And it was like a girl walking with her little walk, and she was strutting. And then a dude was like, "Hey, I think you beautiful. You know what I'm saying? How you doing?" She's like, never, I'm busy. And he was like, another dude stopped her like, "Yo, what's up? I think you real gorgeous. I'm busy." And then one dude stopped her and was like, "You think you look good with your stank ass walk?" And he was like, "Whatever." And she started, but she actually gave him the attention. You know what I'm saying? Where the dude that was being nice, and you know what I'm saying, she was just like, "Oh, whatever, I gotta do whatever." So the dude said, "You think you look good with your stank walk?" She was like, "Don't be talking about me." You know what I mean? People
that's just like
negativity way more than positivity. I don't know why.
It's our mind. That's our way of thinking. Like, we are attracted to the negative. It's so crazy. We can have so many people loving us. Negativity sells. We can have so many people loving on us, but it's that one negative person or that one negative comment that got us. It can be 50 loves, and it's that one negative person that's like, oh, now it's took me off my track. Negativity sells, but positivity is the way. I agree, Lola. I agree. Positivity. I choose to live on the positive side more than the negative side. Tamara said, "Let's just live and laugh." That's my motto. Yeah. So
I've grown to appreciate the negativity. Like, I know if people like hating on me or saying something, I'm doing something right, because I'm on your mind some type of way. Like, I'm doing something right. Like, you hate me? Aw, thank
of all
you.
People.
You're
right.
so sweet.
So I am going to leave everybody with this. We opened up the discussion this morning, and it actually took the entire show. I'm glad that it did, because I think as parents, we need to acknowledge that we are not perfect, and that, yeah, we are going to mess our kids up in some kind of way. Like there's something that we're not going to do right, and we have to allow the space, or at least open that space up for our kids to tell us, mom, dad, like that was effed up of you to do, and this is how it affected me. Even I shared in the beginning that I went to counseling. I went to family counseling with my daughter, and yeah, it did not feel good to sit up there and hear her tell me how I messed her up in certain ways, and this is the stuff that she's dealing with. But in the back of my mind, as I was sitting there taking it, I'm like, this is for my child. So I want her to heal from the stuff that she went through. So I think if we just allow that, open up the space and make it less about you and more about them, then we'd be better off, because it's no longer about you. You did what happened. And these kids have the right to heal. I don't care what age they are. I'm 47 years old and I'm still healing from some traumatic stuff. Thank God my mom has opened up that space to talk with me about it, some of the things that I went through and seen her go through. But we have to allow that and not take it personal. Yeah, not take it personal. What about you, Lamar? What do you want to leave the people with?
Oh man, I mean, one, the sensitivity has got to go. Like, there's two things I probably want to leave the people with. I guess less sensitivity and just less, like, I don't know if negativity is the word, because I believe people have the right to have opinion. I've always said that people have a right, whether it be negative or positive. I don't want to hear it. It shouldn't be voiced. Keep your opinions to yourself. I've always felt the same way about racism. Be racist all you want, but don't tell me about it. Don't do anything to me. Don't talk to me about it anyways. But hate me all you want. That's cool. Like, you know what I mean? I'm just... Mm-hmm. It's not the fact that people are overly sensitive, it's just that they feel that they have to do something about it. So I think that's where I want to leave people with. You have the God-given right to have your opinion and whatever you feel. Feelings are welcome. Everything doesn't deserve to be acted upon. Just meditate on it and that be it. Handle it yourself. It shouldn't have to come outside of your personal body or your home. So have problems with stuff, because that's natural. I hate eggs. People think I'm crazy. Don't like eggs. Sunny side over. I don't get down.
Not at all.
But when I go to a grocery store, I don't go banging eggs off of the, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just leave them alone. I don't even go in that area. Treat life like eggs. Just leave
What about you, Jay Heat? What about you? What would you like to leave? Ashley said, great advice, Lamar. Oh, they love us. I love it. What would you like to leave the listeners of the 716 Live Morning Show with, Jay Heat? Joining us again, we had the CEO himself on, y'all.
Yeah, I'm here every Monday and Friday. That was the plan, So
you're right.
You're not worthy.
Right.
I would say, one, make sure y'all stay tapped in, 716live.com. It's a lot of things going on. What was the girl's name? Evolution.
I call this shit Evolution. Yeah, yes, she's one of the queens.
Yeah, so make sure y'all stay tapped in. A lot of things going on. But what I want to say is just, something that might help you out throughout your daily activities is try to focus more on being selfless, showing compassion, love, and understanding. If you utilize those tools, I think, you might make some improvements in your life, no matter where you at.
Yes, amen to that. Good morning, Ann Robin. Good morning, sis. Oh my God, people still keep coming in. I almost feel like we need to have a second half of the morning show on Fridays, because the numbers keep climbing. I'm looking at all these. The numbers keep climbing, y'all. Grand Rising. I love that people love this show. Y'all came and got y'all a cup of coffee this morning, everybody. Thank y'all so much for continuing to come back. Thank you for all the new listeners. Make sure if you got something out of the show this morning, which I'm sure you did. Oh, good morning, Bestie. Good morning, which I'm sure you did. Make sure you tell a friend to tell a friend that you have been rocking with 716 Live. Make sure you also catch us on the radio site. You can go to 716live.com. And if you are interested in being a part of the 716 Live family, if you have been sitting on a podcast idea and you're still sitting on it, get up today and give us a call. You can send us an email at 716live@gmail.com, or you can hop in our DMs. Don't slide. Hop in DMs and make sure, above all, y'all, because we get a lot of emails. If you are interested in a podcast or a radio show, put that in the subject line. Put that in the subject line. Interested in a podcast or radio show. If you put that in the subject line, it'll be easier for us to grab that out and take action on it. We again, Jay does not have just crap on the 716 Live platform. And, I have to respect that. He has a young queen that he's raising. And like he said, if she can't watch it, it shouldn't be on here. So, I mean, you have to respect that. You have to respect that. Mouse running things in these parts, okay? She running things. So I got to respect that. So, Jay, you have anything else? I know we have the Halloween party coming up.
Halloween party. We definitely will be in the bill with Shibo versus, and I can't see. I don't even. That's horrible.
It's EJ. She's battling EJ. I interviewed EJ with Donna's team.
Right. I was getting ready to say she's a part of Donna Durham's reality show, A Taste of Life. So they'll be battling, and 716 Live will be in the building. I'm a judge. I think D'Amica's a judge, and Ab's hosting. So, man, make sure y'all come out, man. I'm excited to see this. I want to see, what they got. I know she's nice. I never heard E, but I know I'm lying. I did see a quick video she put out, and that she did go in on that. So, I'm excited to see this.
Yeah, EJ is dope. She's humble. Like I listened to a few of her tracks. She has she's a talented artist. She is. I've seen Shibo go. Shibo draws that crowd too. Shibo about her business.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. And we have the Halloween party also, Lamar. Hopefully we can all show up as a 716 Live team. That is the goal, to show up as the team. It's a Halloween party, an adult Halloween party. So, you and Jamie definitely come through. Again, listen, we're trying to go out as a team. If there's anything going on in the city this weekend that y'all would like 716 Live to be a part of, send us a message and just say event going on weekend. If you have anything that needs to be reported, maybe of a function that's going on, an event, anything. This is the real people station. We want to report on what's really going on in the community, not the stuff that they're trying to feed us, but the stuff that's really going on in the community. The kids as well. We are interested in what's going on with these kids. If there is a function going on at your kid's school, a football game, I believe tonight in Lackawanna, there might be a Friday night game. If there is, I may hit that up. I hit the Little Loop game up this weekend. I'll post some footage about that. We're just trying to be out here. Right? Yeah. 716 Live is going to be in the know. We are going to be the real people station, y'all. This is going to be the place where people can come and feel like they are at home. This is going to be the place where people can come and feel like they have a safe space to speak their mind and not be judged about it. We had a very, very great interview by one of our teammates, Rochelle. She interviewed Deshauna. Excellent healing conversation. If you have not watched her story, HERR story, make sure you watch that. Beautiful depiction of what it looks like to take your power back and heal. The interview she did with Deshauna, it's definitely one of my favorite interviews because I know both of them personally. Learned a lot in that interview, and I just want to commend anybody who's willing to stand up for themselves and tell their story. And that's it. I have nothing else, Sean.
All right. Well, that was a great show, y'all. I'll catch you Monday, man. Everybody have a good weekend.
Look at those numbers. They keep climbing. I love y'all. Thank y'all. Thank y'all so much for showing up. Make sure
early.
Say that again.
y'all got to start waking up early, man. The late watchers, y'all got to get up early, man. We ain't
Right,
early.
right. And when listen, I want to throw this out. I know the voting has not come through yet. Listen, when the 716 Music Awards come up and it is time to vote for Podcast of the Year, 716 Live Morning Show got to be up there because I see y'all loving us, okay? Make sure y'all vote right. And I know D'Amica is on here, but that is not an issue, okay? She still can be a part of the award, all right? 716 Live Morning Show is that show. Listen, watch out, Breakfast Club. Watch out, Hot 97. 716 Live is coming. That's all I'm going to say. Okay. Have a great weekend, everybody. Love y'all long life.
All right, y'all. Take it easy. Peace.